bow, bow, bow. Do, 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 do. And here we go. Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello, Ghostly. Opresoria. Welcome in, welcome in. Princess is coming up to shout out her name. Come on. Come on. I know, come on. You can jump up. Come on. Come on. There you go. Hello, hey! Hi. Opresoria, what a good day. Oh, good. I'm glad it's a good day, Ghostly. You're coming in hot. Certainly more gushing of the Virgil, I'm sure. Full speed ahead and sprints until we get distracted and Ghostly has to lurk until Ghostly banishes thyself. What did you do, Ghostly? What did you do? Opresoria, hello. Hope your day is going well, Opresoria. My day has consisted mostly of me journaling and cleaning, so I'll go ahead and take those as a win. Although I do need to go back and I need to do my workout after stream today. I also hope everybody knows that I was invited to go play board games with producers from Blumhouse Studios, and I turned it down to hang out with you all. So that's my guilt trip for the day. Anyway, I wasn't gonna go to begin with, but I wasn't able to for other reasons. Ghostly, why would you do that? No, it's fine. There's other reasons why I'm not able to go, but it was a thing that popped up that I thought was funny. It's also Blumhouse. yeah, I was gonna be like, Opresoria does not feel guilt. Why let you did a thing? Ghostly, you got free time. And what did you do? Oh boy. Is that why Ghostly's in a better spot right now is because of the where you got some free time from work from all the nonsense? It's gonna have to be a competition between Ghostly and Moonrunes for this. Oh shit, that's funny. Well done, Ghostly. Well done. I applaud you. But we do love you. Thank you, Ghostly. Yeah, originally I was planning on going actually after stream. But I'm not gonna be able to tonight, unfortunately, because they're essentially doing like a lockdown board game night at the place, and I just cannot do that because I have to be up early tomorrow. So, unfortunately, I was like, I'll do it next time, which is fine. I do know the people there, so it's not like I'm missing out big time, but Ghostly just got a lot done today and did the self-care. Oh, good. Oh, I'm glad, Ghostly. I'm glad you actually did self-care for the first time in a long time and made cookies. Hell yeah. Cookies sound utterly delightful. It was just lovely and also got the faux horror to a place people can see it. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Wow, you're already there, huh? You're already... you already got it, like, written to a place where you can... Are you finished with it? Or just the first part of it? Is it a short, or how long are you planning on it being? How do I download this? What do we got here? That's the Temu version of Litecoin. Moonrunes will be the actual legit one. It is very, very funny, Ghostly. Opresoria, I'm sure you will enjoy this because you enjoy it. This is Ghostly's early rendition of the Litecoin. It's very funny. I think matches the vibe and the tone of everything correctly. I think it really does a good job capturing the essence of what we're about here. Jesus Christ. It's disturbing, but I enjoy it. Yeah, it is a little disturbing. The opening is... Okay, gotcha. The opening is finished. It's going to be a novella length. Okay, gotcha. Did it really? It took that long to screen cap it? Is it just a Twitch thing? Like Twitch was having... Like you weren't able to pause it? I haven't really gone back and watched, like, VODs. Like, I'm not sure how Twitch runs its VODs, so... I find that shocking that it was... Oh, wow, okay. Jeez. Is that bad? I was like, it's usually pretty easy on, like, YouTube to just pause something. Oh, the player's wonky? Okay, that makes sense. It is like, a site dedicated for streaming and not so much, like, VOD play the way that, like, YouTube is. So... I guess in a way that kind of makes sense. And also Ghostly is incompetent. I mean, you might not be. It might actually... I mean, Twitch's interface and platform is generally, in my opinion, janky. Anywho, how much do you need to get done tonight? So tonight's going to be, like, pretty much focusing on getting the groundwork for this new horror film I'm working on. So I'm probably going to focus on doing that tonight. But if you want readings done, is what I'm assuming you're asking for. Sometimes when you pause it won't dismiss the player overlay, and that can... Oh, gotcha. I see what you mean. Okay. Okay, so anytime you actually interface with the player, it does that. Got it. Yeah. But no, if you want to read, I'm like, maybe we could do it at the end of stream if we have time. Depending on how long we go. What, Ghostly? What? No, Ghostly never. But yeah, we might be able to do it at the end of stream. I'm not sure, though. That might have to wait till next week after I get back from New York. For any more, like, readings to be done. Mainly because I didn't get as much done off, I didn't get as much done off stream, as I would have liked, since I really haven't actually done anything. I was cleaning, so... I do want to try to get I do need to get this. I need to get this kind of off the ground. When will you have time to read my work? Oh my god, Opresoria. You... you want me to read your code for Opresoria? Oh god. It's code, Ghostly. He writes code. Or they write code. So, like, it's just one of those things that, like, Opresoria keeps threatening me. Threatening that I'm gonna read their work on stream. And reading their work on stream is gonna be me reading code. Oh, I'm pretty sure Opresoria is rich. It has more Torque coins than anybody. Is my guess. Opresoria is just like, I can make you do it 9 times. Yeah, that tracks. I don't think Opresoria has spent Torque coins and has functionally been there for like almost 2 years. Whoo, 140k. Okay, yeah, that tracks. That tracks. I'm like, there's no way that you've got to be the one with the most. Because not only have you been getting them since you were literally there at the very beginning when we first started, but also like you're just always in the background. Even when you're not here, you're here. Not a huge deal though. Why especially could say, yeah. I won't. Don't worry about it too much. We'll see if we get time, or I'm just like stuck and burnt out. We can do a reading, but if not, we'll do it next week after because I get back I think on Thursday, so there'll probably be like a Friday or Saturday stream next week. Which also you don't actually have to hold on to. This is a dumb joke. I mean, the effort you put into actually making a marriage certificate almost makes it worth it. Like, I feel like I gotta uphold that bargain because that marriage certificate is so fucking funny. It's fine. We can commit to the bit. We can commit to the bit. I always have the stream up even when I can't interact. I have an extension that pings me if someone mentions me in chat. That's awesome, Opera Soria. Of course it is, yeah. Because usually, even if Opera Soria doesn't seem like they're here and invisible, if you ping Opera Soria, usually they'll be like, yes. Why hast thou summoned me? You're like Opera Soria. You're like the sorcerer in Sword and the Sorcerer. When you're like, I am tired of my like every time people summon you, you're just tired and like, what do you want? I'm tired from conjuring. Opera Soria with love, you're kind of terrifying. That's what a lot of people who meet Opera Soria say that. Opera Soria is a sweetheart, but yes, Opera Soria can have a terrifying persona. Opera Soria spent way too much time in HR. That's why. Your power to internet is highly intimidating. Yeah. Opera Soria also, yeah, I mean, in terms of Opera Soria's ability to do a lot of things, like coding and, yeah, they got a brain for all that magic, that weird internet alchemy. Opera Soria like to do things. Yeah, it's just what Opera Soria enjoys. Oh, absolutely. Sweet as can be when we spoke that last time when you were figuring out how to work the stream on Discord. yeah, Opera Soria is a sweetheart. You know. That is true. Opera Soria does bore easy. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely the ADHD for sure. You gotta keep Opera Soria intellectually engaged, or Opera Soria is gonna check out real fast. How is Wilight? Has Wilight drank water? I do. I got my water here. I was drinking water. I got my tea. I made a very delicious salmon and miso soup with a onsen egg in the morning. So it was a very good breakfast. I feel like I haven't had a nice like salmon breakfast in a while, so it was nice. It was a pleasant breakfast. I slept in. That is the big thing. Is I slept in. So I was like behind because usually these are the days like I sun and very clean, like try to clean. I need to do my bedding, but everybody's using the washing machines right now, so I'm gonna have to peek around. Wait till I can sneak in and wash the bedding. Sun my bed and everything. Sun everything outside, so that's all getting sunned and clean, which is nice. So, but I mean, it's why I didn't get a lot of writing done this morning. So, that's such a mood. The sun sounds wonderful. Very samurai of you. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's a vibe. It's a vibe. Oh, you had salmon for breakfast too, Opera Soria? Sort of. Sun? Yeah, it contrary to popular... I mean, I don't go out in the sun. The sun is dangerous to me. But sun is good for cleaning things, and I air dry a lot of my clothing. So. Oh, the sleep-in. Got you, yeah. Oh, what do you mean you sun things? Oh, yeah. So like... I don't know if... Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah. Because, well, you were getting up at, like, 5 for so long. Yeah, I slept until, like, 10. So I was not... I slept through my alarm, clearly. So I was definitely kind of scrambling to get things done. What do you mean sun things? I sun... So, like, if I'm doing laundry, a lot of my laundry I put out in the sun because I air dry it. And I sun my bedding. So my bedding gets put out in the sun because it's all cotton-based. So, like, it's sunning generally, like, does a good job of, like, kind of bringing the cotton back to life. It poofs everything out, makes it, you know, it's also part of cleaning in a way. So when 7:30 is sleeping in, yeah, Jesus, Ghostly. If I remember correctly, the way you work, though, you work at a place that I assume you have to be in ungodly early hours, Ghostly. Ghostly, very hippie of you. I sleep Japanese. I have a Japanese. I actually have a handmade Japanese bed, so I adore that thing. So yeah, I do try to keep very good. I do try to take good care of it, and part of upkeeping the bed and the cotton in the bed is like because it's handmade, it's hand embroidered and hand like crafted by a Japanese couple, um, and I put it. It's like part of like the upkeep to make sure that it lasts a long time. Um, Part of it is sunning it once a week at least to like keep it clean, make sure it doesn't get dust and all that kind of crap, and also it's good for the cotton. It is for us, Ghostly, and that's okay. I know I need to try to get back on my like 4 a.m. I was doing that for a while. I have to be there at 7, but that doesn't stop Ghostly from waking up every morning at 5 a.m. Yeah. Yeah. It's like my brother. My brother's like that. My brother's like a 5:30 in the morning person. Usually I'm going to sleep like an hour before that. Um Yes, yes, Ghostly. If you want a weird Twilight factoid, it is one of my many quirks. I have slept on the floor since I was a wee lad. Apparently, I, for whatever reason, have a problem with beds or being elevated on beds. It started when I was very young, and it drove my parents nuts for a long time before they finally just placated me. But yeah, I used to pull all my blankets off the bed and sleep on the floor. I don't know why. And still to this day, I have trouble sleeping in beds. It's actually why I struggle when I'm traveling for work, because unless the hotel bed is very firm. If it's like a really firm mattress, it helps, but if it's too soft, if the bed is like really, really soft, it messes up, it like hurts me. I'll like wake up crippled because it like messes up my back and everything. My alarm is usually set for 7, but I'm generally awake by 6:30. Ghostly used to just have a mattress and a box screen. Does that count? That's a very like college thing, Ghostly. I knew I had a lot of friends who. So, we'll see. How much do I want to get into this? So back when I was in college, that was when I lived with my partner, my high school. It would have been my high school sweetheart. That was the compromise. The compromise was a mattress and on a box spring on the floor. Because she did not like sleeping on the floor, and of course that was like the living together compromise we came to. And then I continued that mostly through college, and I had a lot of friends who did that too. Where that's a very like college thing, I feel like. It's just like mattress, box spring on the floor. Ghostly's bed just broke because army movers. Ah, yeah. They're just that bad, Ghostly. Army movers break things, apparently. They're just breaking shit all the time. But by the time I moved to LA, actually, I think, because Oprasori used to go with me, we would go down to the Japanese market down in Gardenia, right? Because I think that's where I picked up my first, like, cheap Japanese mattress that I had at my studio. I think that's where I grabbed that. But yeah, when I moved to LA is when I started sleeping on Japanese-style futons on the floor. And if it was on a hard... Yeah, it was the Marukai down there, yeah. And if it like in my studio, which was a hardwood floor, sometimes you would put like, because I didn't have tatame, because lots of times they're on tatame mats, you would want to put like some padding underneath it. So sometimes I would put some padding underneath it, but not usually. It is. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure you were there when I bought it. I'm almost positive. Ghostly. They once packed an iron on top of our china. Wow. I guess they don't get paid to think. I guess. I feel like in the army that should be better. It's like very grunt behavior. Although my buddy who got out of the army did, oh god. he did tell me he was not too kind when he's like, these kids are stupid. I remember I was visiting him in Austin, and he was just like, he would just shake his head and just be like, God, these kids are dumb. So like, I don't know, man. Maybe it's just a deal with being a grunt and young. Oh, they're contractors, got it, and the lowest bidder, yeah. So you're just gonna get the worst. You're just gonna get the worst movers. Got it. That makes sense. That tracks. That tracks. Well, oh, thank you, Opresoria. Ad break in progress. Good times indeed. But yes. I have not done the box spring mattress thing on the floor since I was in my early 20s. It's not my jam generally. But that was a compromise just to, do that. Do what the coupling, as they call it. Today, totally forgot about that. I usually like to warm fan. I mean, it's fine. It's just us in here. I don't even think anybody's I think it's just us 3 or 4 right now. So, but we'll go ahead and we'll start diving into the sprints here pretty quick after this. So you're a hippie earthen fellow who sleeps on the ground. The more you know. I guess that's true. I guess that's true. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I always preferred sleeping on the floor ever since I was a very, very young child. So it kind of like the Japanese have a really like, because they sleep on futons and they're also very, very clean. They tend to be very clean and they take care of things. I tend to, I started just adopting a lot of that behavior because it helps maintain it. You don't have to worry about, because the thing about sleeping on the floor that you have to worry about, particularly if you have allergies like me, is that like, dust. You're close to the floor, so you can like have dust problems and all kinds of stuff. So you have to try to maintain it, make sure everything stays clean, and when everything's kind of dusted out, and it's very, you want to make it cozy. But what, buddy? What was that? You all right? Shmuel? Hey, you okay? Just howled. Hammocks are nice. Hammocks are fun. Give Ghostly a hammock and she's dead to the world. Hammocks are hang. Hammocks are nice. I like hammocks. Like my mom has a hammock. We have hammocks up at like we during the summer out in Wyoming we'll hang hammocks and kind of like hang out there, take a nap. The wildest thing was my dad. I remember on the sailboat for a while they tried to put a hammock up on the from the front mast all the way to the very front, the bow, near where the anchor is, right at the bow. And so like that works for when the boat is like you're anchored somewhere out at the harbor, like out in like an island or something like that. But like when you're out in the middle of the ocean, it got you try to take a nap in this thing and you're just like swinging like over the ocean. It becomes very disconcerting, especially when like when you're trying to sleep and wake up and you're just like feel yourself flying through the air and just see like the ocean underneath you. It can be a little frightening. Although I suppose that's the opposite of close to the ground. I mean, you're kind of lifted in a tree. It's very campers. Hey, Phoenix 1. Welcome in. Wildlight, if I've said it once, I've said 1,000 times, you need to write an autobiography. That's not even like an autobiography thing. That's just a random detail of being out on a fucking boat run by a madman. It's not. You gotta be able to construct that into a story, unless I just start writing travel logs, which I have thought about. I have thought about what it would be like to try to write a travel log, because those are interesting, and that's actually what Herman Melville did before he wrote Moby Dick. Was he tended to write travel logs from his time when he was on whaling ships, about like the various islands he went to and things like that. but I don't think people really read travel logs anymore. I think they watch YouTube, like the YouTube version of travel logs, which are just like travel videos. I don't think people read the like read them as literature anymore. But maybe. I know. At some point, Ghostly, at some point. Hey, Patio's gonna call me Ishmael. I have just arrived at the Holiday Inn. Holiday Inn's probably a lot nicer than the pub that Ishmael finds himself in at the beginning of Moby Dick. Actually, that pub is actually pretty nice. They have just cots for those guys. They could throw them in the back. So, I mean, to be fair, it's not the worst. But maybe someday, Ghostly. I know that you and Lex have talked about me writing an autobiography. Maybe what if you could do like a film autobiography, like you know, like YouTubers do like my day in Tokyo, but you do that, but you do it as like, how would you? I wonder if there's a way to like film an autobiography as though it were an autobiography. No, not like a biopic, not a theatrically, like you are, it's an autobiography, so you yourself are talking, like you yourself are expressing your past and understanding your current place. Because autobiographies generally are written when you're at a certain point in your life reflecting on the past. I'm wondering if there's a way that you could make a movie or like a visual artistic representation of your own experience traveling in your own past. Like maybe with reenactments, but it wouldn't be like a biopic where you're casting like people to play you and it's like this big like glamorized thing. Like more of like a video essay in a way, but like more cinematic in some parts. I don't know. Maybe that wouldn't work. I don't know. Also, before Ghostly forgets, fun training story of the day. Ghostly was using a new register system, and I told this kid, hold on, darling. An old lady is trying to figure out technology. Without missing a beat, this kid goes, don't worry, ma'am. I'll let you know when she gets here. Oh, that's cute. Oh, that's charming. That's a charming little exchange. Oh, man, Moby Dick was based off the whale ship Essex. Yep. And geez, that was a dark story. It goes along with the Donner, but yep, goes along with the Donner Party. Yep. And also like Melville's own experiences on various sailing ships. But yeah, definitely the Essex. I think you'd be on to some kind of long journey that's a bit slow, so that your introspective thoughts are most of the focus. Maybe sailing across the ocean or something. Oh yeah. I mean, I've always wanted to do that. I had a couple friends when I was spending a lot of time in Mexico sailing around. There were a bunch of kids that were home, like, they're homeschooled, but they lived on these boats and they just circumnavigate the world. Like, it was just a kid with his parents. And so, like, every couple of years, I would see him for a summer and they would just have finished going around the world in their little boat. And I always thought that would be cool. What it would be like to circumnavigate the globe on a ship. Yeah, I've always kind of wondered what happened to that kid. It would make for a very interesting upbringing. To how do you, like, you literally grew up on the sea. I assume it's probably deeply, in terms of socializing and making friends and learning how to, like, have social networks, you're probably very good at meeting people, but it can probably also be a very isolating experience. But you're probably also exposed to all kinds of different, you're definitely exposed to all different cultures and all that kind of stuff. Ghostly went, you're a sweetheart, honey, with a big old grin. He says, that's what my girlfriend calls me, and it was the most precious thing. There's still good kids out there. Aw, that's delightful. Aw, that's sweet. There we go. Yep, there's good kids. There's some of them. Some good kids out there. Not many, but some. Most of them just need to get off my lawn. But the rest, the good ones can stay. They can hang out. All right. Where are we at here? Okay, we have babbled on long enough. We've been chatting for about almost 40 minutes. I think we should probably start getting some work done. So I'm going to switch things over to Spooky Tunes. We're going to be listening to some pretty moody music, just pretty like soundscapey stuff while I cuz that just helps me while I'm helps me while I try to come up with scenes and just general story ideas. So we will be having that. So hopefully, if that music is too weird, drony, moody for you, feel free to throw on. Just mute us and throw on whatever you want. Babel Tower. Yeah, exactly. And that's why Ghostly hasn't quit yet. There's some good kids. Yeah. Yeah. There's always good kids. There's always going to be good kids out there. It's just the constant struggle to try to like get more good kids out there than less. And that takes a lot of work and time. But anywho, all right, everybody, we're gonna dive in. We got to get some words done. Lots of work to be done on this here Saturday. So happy writing. Let me switch the music over. Let's do this. Let's do this one. All right. Boom. All right. We're going to start the timer. Happy writing, everybody. And we will catch you all on the other side. Good luck. And away we go. Alrighty, everybody. There's the end of our first sprint. Let's go. Start the down timer. It was a rough start. Rough start to the day. You know, these are rough beginnings, but there's a promise on the right. Exactly. I feel like I'm almost there. I'm just now starting to get the opening images close. Like that, I'm starting to get at least like some ideas for possible opening images, which is where this begins. So it was a lot of staring, a lot of doodling in my little notebook. But we got there. All right, good, Ghostly. We've got this. It was a rough beginnings, but promising horizons indeed. Well, I'm glad you were having at least some progress, even though it was rough, Ghostly. Ugh, all right. Reset, everybody. Reset the brain. Ghostly has had to semi-adopt your process for this project. Oh, interesting. What process? Which process, Ghostly? I was like, I guess I do have a process. I just forget it, and then kind of do it sometimes. I guess there's a process to this madness. The next ad will begin in 6 minutes. Thank you so much, Presoria. Oh, you've been so much more visual for this than I ever have before. Oh, that's good. Well, it's at least an interesting experiment for you to try out. You know, you think visually. It definitely, you're doing a good job, like, capturing kind of evocative images and you know, because that's kind of the struggle, right? Is always capturing a sort of a textual kind of experience in language to kind of really implant that in the reader's brain. So the more evocative you can be, particularly visually, I feel like because we tend to be so visual, that visual imagery tends to do a lot of legwork for you. Ghostly has spent hours curating the right images for the vibes. Excellent. Big fan of that, Ghostly. I definitely, yeah, that's good. It's also like whatever helps, but obviously because I'm coming at this as a filmmaker, for me everything starts with the images. So it's funny, it's very hard for me. It's kind of why I come down when I'm starting a process. I have a hard time starting a script if I don't have an opening image and an ending image. Usually those two things start to define the movie or the story for me. And actually I've noticed as I've tried to do the novella, the sort of sword and sorcery novella, I've noticed I have the same thing. I have to have visually what's happening very clear in my head to be able to even begin writing it. It has forced Ghostly to be so much more into it. It has been such a visual writing experience. Oh, hopefully that's good, Ghostly. Hopefully that's working out better for you. So if that's the case, I'm glad it's helping. Phoenixrix. I was writing before stream, so I already had some momentum. Awesome. Well done. Good. That's what I was actually trying to do what you just did, Phoenixrix. I was going to try to get some writing done before stream, so I was already in the flow, and then I just fell behind. Had to help with dinner. Okay, so you managed about 900. Well done. 900 words is a lot, man. But I'm having the best writing day I've had since I started this project. Well, I'm glad we could be here for that. I'm so glad. Because when it finally hits and you just have an absolutely glorious writing day, that is incredible. Ghostly is addicted. She might never be able to go back. Hey, if you find something that works really, really well for you, then, you know, don't go. If it's really cooking, then no reason to go back. This folk horror is coming together like nothing has in so long. Awesome. I'm glad, Ghostly. That's huge. That is huge. I'm very, very glad that I forgot you were supposed to like writing. That's the whole point. Like, you're supposed to fall in love. Now, it's always going to be a struggle. You're always going to beat your head up against it and get frustrated and all that. But that finding the joy and enjoying writing is like, yeah, the whole reason we do this. There is supposed to be a love there. They're supposed to, you know, because sometimes it is hard to tell the difference between loving something and a compulsion to do it. So, I'm glad you're finding at least some joy in it. You've managed 5,960 so far today. That's bonkers, Phoenixtrix. That's so much. Holy shit. So glad I can hang out. Yes, thank you. Thank you for hanging. I mean, that's huge. That's a lot of words. That's a lot of words. All right, I might have to go get more water. All right, next ad break in 2 minutes. Cool. We got ad break. We'll wrap up the timer, and then we'll dive back into it. I do need to get more water though. Ghostly and writing is an old married couple, and this folklore has been the spice, the paprika our relationship needed. Fantastic. Well, that's good, Ghostly. I'm glad. I'm glad it's spicing things up for you and kind of rekindling your relationship with writing. Those are what we hope for. It's always great to re-fall in love with it. That's for sure. Always like this quote. There is no rule on how to write. Sometimes it comes easy and perfectly. Sometimes it's like drilling a rock and then blasting it out with charges. That is a very Hemingway quote. And that is why I've always enjoyed Hemingway, man. The ultimate pragmatist. There's no bullshit, just that's how it is. I think that's the most I ever wrote in a day. That's insane. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely mad props. Whoa! Somebody just gifted a tier 1 sub to Phoenixtrix. Thank you to Anonymous. You are too kind. You are absolutely far and away too kind. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And now you won't have to get, you bypass the ads. Oh. But I am glad. I'm very, very glad, Ghostly, that it's helping you out. All right. See, this is what I need now. I need that. I need that kind of. I need a 5,000 word day, but for a screenplay. Damn it. That would be like a third of a screenplay generally. Depending on how like long and wordy you are, that's like almost a third of a screenplay. Thank you so much, Opressor. Yeah, ad break in progress. All right. Well, I'm gonna take the ad break. I'm gonna go get water. Talk amongst yourselves, Ghostly and Opressor. You got the room. Yeah, you have control. I have given over control. Ugh. Ugh. Okay. Okay, we are back. Let's see here. The images Ghostly is using are all black and white, except for the ones that are memories. Those are colorized in warm light. I got that from this really cool... I got this from this really cool movie I saw a while back that did the same thing. A real good film about logs with eyeballs or something. Can't remember what it's called. Thank you, Ghostly. Thank you. Thank you. You are. I see what you did there, and you are too kind. You are far too kind. But that is cool. I am a big fan of. I'm a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of using. Eraserhead. No, I don't think that was that. Although Eraserhead is a great movie. Definitely. I mean, if you couldn't tell from my film, that Eraserhead and David Lynch in general is a huge influence. But I am a big fan of like showing the past as a colorized experience because it like, particularly for a character who feels trapped and can't move forward. Because I always find like this sort of like longing for the past to be a fundamentally destructive force psychologically as well as sociologically. So it's interesting. It's pretty solid for me. I wrote most of the day. It was over 9K, but that was just over 9K. That was last year. I haven't managed to get but no, Patio Skunk, if I'm not sure if you're just joking or not, but that Ghostly's talking about my film because that's a thing I do in my movie where I do the whole film is in black and white, but the flashbacks go into color. But Ghostly was being cheeky about it. But the logs, the eyes and logs, that's my jam. Definitely just like the eraser. Definitely not gonna pretend like it's not influenced by the Eraserhead penis baby. Oh, you don't know enough to joke. Hey, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's no big deal. It'll be up on the internet eventually. It's pretty solid for me for the 9K. That is, I can't even fathom writing 9,000 words in a single day. That is a machine. That was last year. Yeah, well done. Applause. Big applause. Hey, as they say, flatter. Twilight, you can't just say that. I can't just say what? I can't just say what? Oh, about Eraserhead? Oh yeah. Just Google that if you want. You know that you'll get that. That's the thing about the baby. That's what it's called, man. That's what it's called in the movie. I don't know what you want. What it's like. That's what we call it. That's what everybody calls it. It's funny. Like it's. I don't know if you read the Blue Devils pitch deck, Ghostly, but I actually have a picture of it in that pitch deck. Normal people don't know. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, that's what every film nerd colloquially, that's what we all call it. Normal people don't know. That's yeah. You're gonna hear that if you ever talk to film nerds, Ghostly. You will hear that again. I promise you that. That's funny, but it is true. It's actually the picture of that thing is in my pitch deck, and that is what they call it. They do call it that. So it's not just me. It's not me being cheeky. All right. Okay, everybody. Where are we at? Are we out of ads? Okay, we are out of ads. All right. So let us dive back in. It was a rough start, but hopefully the words treat us. Hopefully the horizons, the promising horizons. It's also set in Ashton. What's set in Ashton? What's in Ashton? Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the pitch deck for my folk horror movie? Yeah. Yeah, Ashton. Yep. Just like the Ashton, Colorado that's in the film. Yep, same Ashton. That's my weird thing. Not interested in multiverses, but that is Ashton, Colorado is a universal. It's the name Ashton comes from Clark Ashton Smith. It's a the Ashton, Colorado is not a real place. There's no town called Ashton, Colorado. It's made up. But it's like Virgil, exactly. Yep, just like Virgil. But you will generally find an Ashton in most things that I write. That's my weird little thing. It's my weird little got it in there. Oh yeah. All right. Enough of this nonsense, everybody. It's time to get work done. It's time for words. All right. So back once more onto the breach. All right. Happy writing, everybody. We'll see you on the other side. Good luck, and hopefully the words treat you well. And away we go. All right, that snuck up on me. Second sprint is down. Pencils down, everybody. Well done. Hopefully that was a somewhat productive sprint. Where do you find your reference pages for your lookbooks and stuff? Also, look, you have so many sentences. It's me just describing how I'm breaking the first scene. It's not that impressive. It's not actually as much as it looks like, I promise. Where do I find reference? Most of it, most of my reference stuff comes from. It's a mixture of. I mean, sometimes it's me Googling. I have a lot of art books. So if I have a pretty clear idea of what I want something to look like, I try to like find, I guess, relevant artists. So I know a lot of artists who do a lot of like gothic like I try to follow and track artists and design that I find interesting that then I can pull from later, and so I do that. So like for Blue Devils, there's art from the video game Bloodborne because I have the art book for that, and it has a design that I feel is like kind of captures what I want the beast to look like. It's not identical, but it's close. It's close enough to kind of give the idea, kind of the idea of what I want it to look like. Otherwise, I actually will screenshot movies. But yeah, it's mostly just I look at a lot of art. I look at a lot of art. I look at a lot of architecture. I save a lot of designs that I find interesting that I kind of package away for later. I don't know. It's kind of a hard question. I really do just like look at photography and art and trippy stuff. Sometimes if I'll just Google things, but I do have a lot of weird art. To be fair, yeah, screenshots of movies too. Yeah, I do that a lot, specifically if I'm trying to create a lookbook for like a type of look I'm going for. So like let me see. I can actually probably bring it up and show examples. Ghostly is struggling to find things that capture the essence she's going for. She's trying to find that candid folk mountain people vibe. I mean, that could be hard though. Like the hard thing is like it's not going to be exact, particularly if you're very specific. So like a lot of the stuff I put in lookbooks, is like it's not even that close. It's definitely not exact. It's just trying to give the impression of the thing so people can look at it. It's hard to find pictures that don't look staged. Yeah, that can also be a problem. Depending on the vibe you're going for, I mean, I would maybe look at like if you can find old photography of if you're going for like mountain folk, like Appalachian. There's got to be a database of Appalachian photography. Let's see. You know, like it depends on kind of the vibe you're going for, but you can probably just Google, what is this? Humans of Central Appalachia. This looks pretty modern. It's probably just a like looking at people. I mean, they're definitely like these are like more portraits. Ghostly has just lived on Pinterest and has mostly kept her afloat. She owes it a blood debt. People really like Pinterest. I struggle with Pinterest, like really badly struggle with Pinterest. I don't like that I have to like log into it, but Pinterest boards are probably good too. You can probably find good stuff. It actually makes me sad that Tumblr isn't as prominent as it used to be because I used to be able to find a lot of really good art on Tumblr. Back in the day, Tumblr had a lot of good stuff. Yeah, okay, you have to be savvy about it. Yeah, and I am certainly not savvy. So like, let me see here. Let me see here if I can find my. What do we got here? Projects, finals. I don't not that. Need pitch decks. Nope, not that. Not that one. Okay, so let's take a look here. Are you gonna make me download it, or can I preview you? Okay. So like yeah, I mean like a lot of this stuff is just art that I source. So let's say go down here. So this was actually an old wood etching that I just overlaid and color tinted, but like, you know, it's an old mining etching, so it kind of captures the vibe of like an old mining town. But I think I just googled that, to be honest with you. So a lot of stuff like it tracks art. So this comes from Beksinski. This is one of my favorite artists. So um, I have like literally like books and books and books of his art that I source. So a lot of his like trippy, surreal, dark art. Um, Beksinski is a pretty big like visual influence for me. And if you can't, it's actually interesting. The color tinting on the pages here actually comes from Beksinski paintings. So like this is actually a color tint from one of Beksinski's painting because I tend to like his color schemes. It's very dreamy, surrealistic. He balances warm and cold colors a lot. So like if all this color tinting on the back of the pages for this pitch deck all come from his art because I tend to use his art as like kind of a color theory of my own. So yeah, I mean, so you know, you've got like these little mine things setting up here. Obviously, this is a mixture of old renditions of mines mixed with newspaper cutouts um and then this is actual photography. So this is actual photography I took in Wyoming of the location I would film at. So this is real photography that I took at the bottom. Um it doesn't help Ghostly isn't doing ARPA photography. That's true. Yeah, I mean, but there you can also mix the two depending if it gives you a vibe that you're going for. So yeah, like this is the old country area where people sing, blah blah blah. This is the actual burnt down smelter that I. It's actually the smelter in the movie Ghostly, where they're like running around looking at those ruins. That's what all this is. This comes from all that. See, that's all from the ruins of that. I think I sourced this from someone who was doing folk horror, just doing like deer monster art, essentially like you know like ghoulish. I actually think this came from a D&D art thing, to be honest with you, which I thought was kind of funny. But that gives me a little bit of a yeah. I think this came from like a D&D thing. But like okay, so this is a good example of I pull a lot from you know if there's like comic or like comic art that I think even though it's a live action movie, none of it's going to be animated. I just need because I can't pay artists at the point to like do design work for me. I have to just find the closest thing. So like this comes from Junji Ito, this kind of stuff, Uzumaki, and so like he does a lot of really good he does a lot of really good like horror art. So I pull a lot of his designs. A lot of the ideas I kind of pick up if it's like if he's got something that's pretty similar to the vibe of what I'm doing, I'll pull from this. Um, this beast. So this is a good example of Bloodborne. This is from the Bloodborne art book from the video game, but the art that he did, I sourced that from literally just the art book. So that was designed for a video game, but I figured it was pretty close to what I was going for. More Beksinski art. Well, it doesn't count as art theft, right? Well, because now if you're gonna publish it, yes, it would count as art theft. Because this is a pitch deck. All this is a document that I've made to try and sell, essentially to try to get people to read the script and then give me money to make a movie. They're like I'm not this deck doesn't go out as something to profit off of. I'm not selling this. So because I'm not using it as profit, it's kind of like I'm just trying to point you in the direction of of what I'm getting at. And so I'm using other artists as kind of like it's kind of like this, it's kind of like that. So yeah, it's kind of I'm not publishing it anywhere. It's not like anything like that. This is just a document to try to sell a script and sell a movie. So like this is a real photograph of a skinhead from um a skinhead from England. So it had the look for the type of character I was going for, that the lead actor in the story is. So I was like, so I just sampled that. But that's not even from a movie. That's a real person. And then for these ones, these are sourced. This is sourced from a movie called Wake and Fright. That's Chamberlain, the actor. He's a British actor. I actually sourced this from my own movie. And yeah, so that's also sourced from the same movie, Wake and Fright. Thank you so much, Opera Ad break is ending. I tend to commission friends of mine when I have the coin and reward myself for doing it. That's cool. Yeah, I definitely am gonna have to. I do when I can. I will pay, particularly if there's specific design stuff that I want. Actually, here's a good example. So these were actually from my movie. The art director of the movie did a bunch of like concept art and just paintings. So here's like early renditions of the log babies, the river babies from that she painted on I think she did this in watercolor. Some like just concept stuff, the creature in the mountain kind of shit. Stuff like that. Like more like cosmic weird stuff. So she did a lot of like, so when I can, I'll pay for stuff like this just as I'm developing the script and trying to sell it. But when you're just trying to sell the thing, or just trying to get interest in the thing, you can just use other things and be like, it's going to kind of look like this. It's going to kind of look like that. So, this is actually a real picture of a dead deer I took in the killing fields. So there's essentially, it's not the killing fields, but it's where they go gut deer. So if you go hunt deer and you need to skin them and gut them and get the meat, this is generally where the hunters go do it. So I would go up there in Wyoming and I took a couple pictures of some of the remains of the deers that are left up there on the hill. So it's like a mixture. It's a mixture of art I've sampled, art of source, pictures I've taken. That's where you find deer ghosts, exactly. And then this is like how I'm pitching. I'm using shots from other movies to pitch the color and kind of vibe and design I'm going for the movie. So in this case, this is two films. This is a Japanese film called Kwaidan that I sourced images from. It's one of my favorite movies. I've always had this in the back of my head when I was writing the script for some of the more cosmic imagery. And then this is from a movie called The Apostle that's on Netflix that is very good. And what I did is I did color change some of these images from what they are on Netflix. This is the creepy baby, as Ghostly apparently says I have to call it, instead of what it's actually called from Eraserhead. But this is the creepy baby from Eraserhead. And then this was a digital art from one of the Call of Duty games that has like zombie deer or something like that. So I got this from the art book for that, which I'm not even a big Call of Duty person, but I was able to, I think I Googled to find this. That's where you find deer ghosts. It absolutely can, but sample ATC size stuff or digital things. Some of my friends are under $100. So, oh wow, that's pretty good. Oh, thank you. Yeah, they're cool. But that's the pitch deck. So, and I did the same thing with the Cyberpunk rom-com pitch deck too. And then this was just I actually bought this image, which was a charcoal etching of a deer skull. I bought this image and then tinted it and kind of imprinted it here for the cover. So that's like it's a mixture. It's like a mixture of pictures I've taken, things I've gone out to find while I'm developing this stuff. Twilight, you never know when normal people are watching. That's true. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And I guess some people might be like, what the fuck are you talking about when you talk about it like a penis baby? So can't just drop that in there. So thank you so much. Yeah. But a lot of it's like, it's and then the goal is as you can get money to develop the film, develop the story, you hire designers to actually design a much more refined view of, or essentially a much more refined design for more what you're imagining, because all of that is just impressions. It's just impressions that I'm using to kind of try to be like, it's like this, to sell on the idea. and then I can control things like the color and to try to give you like an idea of what it's like the color temperature is going to be, what the vibe of the whole thing is going to be. So anyway, that's a long long tirade about that. Ghostly is just trying to minimize the amount of lists you're on here, my friend. Oh, that is, I admire that. Thank you very much, Ghostly, for looking out for Wildlight, for not having people knocking down the door. Though I suppose with your quotes, yeah, it's a losing battle, Ghostly, and you all keep pulling the inappropriate quotes out anyway. So we might as well just pull the Band-Aid off. Okay, all right. Yeah, it's never gonna get. Yeah, exactly. Like, what are we doing? All right. Cool. All right. Ads are over. We are back. It is time to dive into a sprint. So let's go get it, everybody. Let us get those words. All right. I'm gonna start the sprint. I'm gonna have to step away at the very beginning of the sprint, but then I will be back to work alongside the rest of you. So happy writing, everybody, and we will see you on the other side. Away we go. Alrighty, everybody, that is the end of our third sprint of the night. And I think that might be the end of it. The end of our sprints. I think we already did 3. Yeah, 3 sprints. 3 thumbs up is 3 sprints. All right. Well, I think that might be the end of it for the eve. Originally, I was going to try to see if we could do 4 tonight, but I am getting very hungry, so I might have to dip out and go eat a dinner. Ghostly, that was rough. Oh no, was it a rough sprint, Ghostly? I'm sorry. Oh man, how you doing? Oh, got a groove? Ooh, were you in the groove, Patio Skunk? I hope so. It's my fault. I know. We would have gone 4 tonight if it wasn't for Patio Skunk mentioning pizza. No. I could tell I was getting hungry. So I even if you hadn't mentioned pizza, I'm pretty sure I would have been like, I need food. Desperately need food. Oh, man. Well, I am going to go eat food. So that is going to be the plan for this evening. Food is important. Must eat to feel. Exactly. Must eat to feel the brain. So I think I've got kind of an opening image. I'm still not totally sold whether or not this is going to be the opening image, but it is a opening image. It's an opening sequence or an opening scene. So, I don't know how I feel about it yet. I'll have to think about it, ruminate, maybe while I'm eating. Food is important, must eat. Yep. So, I think that is what the plan is going to be. So, for future streams, we are going to be off for a few days. I have to go record a podcast on Monday. And then right after that, literally right after the podcast, I have to fly to New York. And I'm doing a very tight turnaround. I'm only there for like 30 hours, I think, before they fly me back. So I'll be back on Tuesday, roll Wednesday. So I'm flying back Thursday night. So I'll be back. I'll be back by Friday. Whether or not I have the emotional and cognitive ability to function on Thursday or on Friday will dictate whether or not a stream happens. But for now, we will plan on a Friday-Saturday stream. You can always edit a bad page. You can't edit a blank one. Exactly, Ghostly. That's a good point. That's a very good point. So yeah, so for now, plan on a Friday-Saturday stream for next week. There is a possibility that Friday might get canceled if I am completely shot. I don't know what I'm walking into or how intense it's going to be or essentially how much sleep I'm going to get. But once that is over and done with, it should be back. I keep saying back to regularly scheduled programs, and then things like this happen where I get shipped off on these. I don't know. I honestly don't know why they're flying me to the East Coast for like a day and a half. It doesn't make any sense, but that's what they're doing. So, geez, take care of yourself, man. That's the idea. So anyway, that's the plan. Yeah, so plan on Friday, Saturday next week. In the meantime, hopefully you all get a good amount of writing done and life treats you well. So for those of you who want to keep on working, let's see who is on and we will go ahead and raid in. Just stop saying what? What? What did I just say? What happened? What happened? You're doing it to yourself at this point. What did I do to myself? My God. Oh, I'm jinxing myself. Oh, I gotcha. Oh, that's probably true. I do often do that. So. Yes, of course. Thank you so much, Ghostly. Thank you, everybody. Phoenitrix, Patio Pizza, Patio's Pizza. See, oh my God, I said Patio Pizza. Okay, all right. I have to get pizza. Jesus Christ. Okay, all right. Never mind on the raid. We're just gonna call it. I gotta go get pizza now. Thank you, Patio Skunk. Everybody, safe travel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you all. Take care of yourselves. We'll catch you all next time. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to others. And yeah, happy writing, everybody.